always blessed to have you join me. This is an incredible time we can spend a few minutes together. Very few minutes, but it's rewarding, and I thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule to join me today. This is the fourth in the series, God's Grooming You for Greatness. I want to talk about the master plan that God has for you, Jeremiah 29:11. God has a master plan for you. Very important for you to understand. For every single individual, God has a master plan for you. Romans 8:28 talks about all things work together for good for those who love God, are called according to his purpose. For those that God called, he predestined. Those he predestined, he justified. Those he justified, he glorified. So God foreknew you, God predesigned you, God called you, God justified you, and God glorified you. Ephesians chapter 1, verse number 11 talks about God's master plan for your life. Ephesians 1:4 and Ephesians 1:5, it began before the creation of the world, God's master design for your life. Psalm 139:16, God had already designed you, and every one of the days that were designed for you were already decreed by God before even one of those days came to pass. God has a master design for you. I'm going to read out of Daniel chapter 10, verse 1. In the third year of Cyrus, the king of Persia, a word was revealed to Daniel, whose name was Belteshazzar. And the word was true, and it was a great conflict. And he understood the word and had an understanding of the vision, because God had designed Daniel to be an interpreter of dreams, not just of anybody's dreams, but the dreams that were going to reveal what's going to happen throughout the ages, the aeons, the millennia of time. So hundreds of years before Christ. So this happened well over 500 years before Christ, that he has another dream, another revelation, another vision, and he's going to interpret it. Now, this was just a matter of decades after he had his previous dreams related to Nebuchadnezzar, some related to his kingdom called the Babylonian, the Iraqi kingdom that we have today is an expression of that. And then what we now know as Iran is an expression of what came out of Persia and Daniel's original vision that he had concerning Persia. God has a design for your life, has a master plan for your life. Not only were you designed by God, in the infinite mind of God, in eternity, God designed you and chose you, revealed himself in you, and you, as a part of creation by the Creator himself, has a master plan for your life. This is revealed in other verses in Psalm chapter number 139. So we have the expression of God to you, that he has designed you, but there's also the master plan of your life. Philippians chapter 1, verse number 6 says, what God began in you, he will complete in you. Ephesians chapter 2, verse number 10 talks about you are a workmanship created in God. The actual word is poema, which means you are God's poem, you're God's expression. So there is a master plan for your life. Daniel is fitting into the master plan. I want to talk to you about the fear that we have and you have of the future. We can't control the future. It's in the hands of God. We can't even control tomorrow. We can't even control the next minute. We don't know 5 minutes from now if we're going to be dead or alive. We have no idea. Those people that died, they had no idea that we're going to die, most of them. But there's one thing that you can know, and that is that God has the future all designed and all planned, and it's a master plan, Ephesians 1:11. And that actually begins verse number 9 and 10 as well. And even going back to verse number 4, Ephesians 1, read it. God has a master plan for your life. And the point is, can you trust God that he can do a better job with your life than you can do? Can you actually trust God? If I can trust God, what am I fearing? There is a master plan for my life. God designed Daniel in advance, the same way you have been designed in advance. And that design carries a master plan with it. God says, you know the plans that I have for you. Jeremiah 1:5, the same man that spoke those words of Jeremiah 29:11, God said to him, before you were ever born, I called you to be a prophet. Galatians 1:15, Paul says, before I was ever born, God called me, apostolically called me from my mother's womb. God has a master plan for your life. Understand it. Get rid of the fear and the torment of what's going to happen tomorrow. Guys, I got it all under control. Will you trust God that He knows how to design your life in such a special way that the enemy cannot override it? He is a sovereign God. Trust Him. He will be faithful to complete the plan that He has for your life. I love you. We'll see you next time.